So my 1 year English Heritage membership is almost up now, it's got a couple of weeks left. So today I've come to visit 2 castles, my final 2 properties on my list. So this is Richmond Castle, slap bang in the middle of Richmond Town in North Yorkshire. And this one I'm shooting first in the morning. Then this afternoon I'm heading slightly south into the Yorkshire Dales to shoot my second castle. 2 castles in one day. So it is quite an open plan layout of a castle, just the perimeter walls and then this grass bit in the area. Obviously the tower there behind me, and you can actually go up in the tower. So again, that will be views of here, of this surrounding landscape, which is obviously very nice, but it does seem to be more about the views than views of the castle. So I think my first shot is going to be from here. It's a view of the main tower, but I've got a bit of footings along here, which I think is possibly missing from most of the castles. Especially this one, you've got all these surrounding walls. It's quite an open castle, as I say, but you've got a few footings here, and that's creating the foreground, and I think it needs it, otherwise it's just empty grass. But it's quite a good angle. You've got a 3/4 split there, 2 sides showing rather than flat on, but you're getting the foreground here, a bit of the wall leading in from the right. So from here, initially, this looks like one of the best views of the actual tower. So I'll take this. So today I've left the Fuji at home and I'm shooting with the Olympus EM1 Mark II with the 12-40 zoom. And that's because, well, I never really did give up Micro Four Thirds totally. I'm still with it, I've still got a zoom kit, and the reason I've got this is because this to me is a winning combination. This camera with this lens is a powerhouse. The zooms on the Fuji are slightly bigger and bulkier. That's why I see that as a prime lens camera. This is the perfect balance of size and weight and image quality. So I didn't really want to have a bigger zoom to go on the new camera. So this is why I kept this model, and I also use this for scanning my my film negs as well. So it also doubles up as that with a macro lens. But I also like this because the lens isn't too big, the front element isn't too big, and I can still use my Lee 7.5 filters on this lens, whereas if I had the equivalent Fuji, I probably wouldn't, and I'd probably have to start using the Lee 8.5 system as a minimum, just because the front element is so big on those lenses, those Fuji ones. So even though I'm more of a prime lens shooter these days with the Fuji X-T5, I do see the versatility and convenience of shooting with a zoom, and this combination, this focal length in a standard zoom, is ideal for 90% of my shots as well. I've always loved this lens. I love that it's nice and fast, f2.8, constant aperture throughout the range. So when I want a range of focal lengths in a convenient package, this is the combination that I go for, the winning combination. So I've shot around 10 English Heritage properties in the last year. Some visited twice, get them in different weather conditions. So those are this one, which is Richmond, and then I did Pickering Castle, and I can't remember them. Craig will tell you. Yes, allow me, Craig, I have your list. You left it here on the desk. So I've done Pickering Castle twice, Byland Abbey 3 times, 1 cloudy, 1 sunny, 1 in the fog. Then there was Kirkham, did a YouTube video from there. Next was Helmsley Castle, again twice, this one in the fog too. Scarborough Castle was ticked off, a very hot sunny day that one. Clifford's Tower in the centre of York, that was done twice too, one with the Ricoh GR3 combo of cameras, some great results from there. Revo Abbey, a very grand ruin, visited twice. No, sorry, 3 times, a bit of fog again for my last visit there. Guysborough Abbey, that was a very sunny one, and that was with the Fuji X Pro 3. Whitby Abbey on the coast, all weather conditions on that visit, and today's 2 castles are the final ones on the list. That's 11 in total. And of course, if you want to see all the location shoots from all the properties, well, there's a fabulous subscription package called E6 which has them all included. So I've come down to the garden now, and while initially it looked a bit empty and nothing really going on, just some hedging and an open lawn, I followed this little path round, and I think I found my kind of ultimate shot of this castle. So within this little section here, we've got some lovely tulips, and I know these would be referred to as a bit pretty, and I don't do pretty. I quite like them. So you've got these. I've got this section here with a little bunch of them here. You've got this nice big bench, use that as well. You've got the line of the wall going up, which is again really nice. And then we just see the top of the tower over there, over the wall, for that background feature, with this to use as foreground. Now that whole combination, I think, is going to give me the shot that I want here. This is what I was looking for. Now, of course, going back to Micro Four Thirds, I have to be more accurate with my shots. With the Fuji, I've got that big sensor, that high megapixel sensor, which I use with just one lens, and I punch in to get different focal lengths. Here I've got less megapixels, a smaller sensor, but that's why I'm using my zoom. I can do a precise framing of the shot. I have to get it right. I can't just crop in or have a crop mode. I'm getting it right in camera, but using this lens, which you can just carry around like anything. No weight to it at all. So whilst I don't have the Pen F anymore, I use the Fuji X-T5 as my prime lens camera. The EM1 kind of does iron out a lot of the problems I did have with the Pen F. Obviously it's got the flip out screen, so it doesn't do anything about that, but it is a more versatile camera. The autofocus is a lot faster, for instance. I can use the zooms on it. It's got a nice grip. It's just a camera that I've always liked using, and it just fits in the hand nicely. Well, I've done a few shots. Sadly, no sun appeared, so it's all been overcast, but it's midday now. There's a few too many people here. There's too many kids running around, so I think it's time to head off to castle number 2. No sunshine. Yeah, so I thought the sun might come out this afternoon, but no, not to be. So it's another overcast shoot at this castle, Middleham Castle. So similar conditions to this morning, but this castle is a lot more in your face. So this is why I think it's going to be an advantage to having the zoom today, so I can push and pull the focal length to get those shots I want. So this has been a video about the benefits of a standard zoom, which I think we all know. It's a video about this particular standard zoom, because this is my favourite combination with this camera, and it's a video to show that I haven't deserted Micro Four Thirds. I still prefer to shoot a zoom on Micro Four Thirds. This fits in with my kit as much as the new Fuji does. So for those of you still watching who thought I'd stop believing in you and believing in this system, well, maybe you just stop believing in me. That statement may of course be falling on deaf ears, as those it might apply to have already unsubscribed from this channel. Oh well. That's looking nice. Well, that's me just about finished at this property. I think I've exhausted all possibilities, and that's the end of this project. So the question is, what next?